So I was out in the garden this morning. It's been raining, raining, raining. And even though it is late December, I found 3 roses still blooming in the garden. So I thought, hey, that would be a fun video. I'll take the 3 rose challenge and see if I can make an arrangement with the 3 roses that I have in the garden. Welcome to another video. I actually was out in the garden assessing, what needs to be done. It's almost time to prune roses, and lo and behold, I was out in my front garden and I saw 3 Lady Emma Hamilton roses still in bloom. And I thought, wow, let's see what we can do with these. I have to cut them because it's been raining, so they're just going to go, they're going to get waterlogged and be destroyed in a couple of days. So let's cut them and see what we can do with them. So I went and looked at all the containers I have, and I thought I'd show you another Ikebana-inspired arrangement, or at least an Asian-inspired arrangement in this wonderful moon gate basket. So really it's just like a round basket with a round vessel, but the opening is really tiny. And so the challenge always has been for me to find something to go inside of this little opening that is, of course, not watertight. The only thing that fits is a votive candle holder. So I put water in here and a little bit of chicken wire, and that's what we're going to do. So let's get started. I have some magnolia branches I cut last spring when I was doing sort of spring cleanup. Now, the dead magnolia branches are gorgeous. And in fact, I saw a big stem of it sold at a very expensive garden store in Berkeley. And I thought, I have a huge one. I wonder how much that goes for. Anyway, I cut a big branch and I've been taking small branches off. And I think I used it in my succulent arrangement. I'm not sure if I've shown it elsewhere, but anyway, I've been using bits and pieces of it. So what we're going to do is use this to set sort of an interesting line for our moongate basket arrangement. And I sort of see the circle as our perimeter that we're not going to go past. All the action is going to be inside the circle. So I'm going to put this in here. I'm trying to think if I wanted the chicken wire or not. Because the opening is so small, I almost don't need the chicken wire. But anyway, so I'm going to put this all on one side. Now, I have not studied Ikebana formally. I've taken a couple of classes. So all you Ikebana aficionados, don't judge me too harshly. Okay, so this is what I have right now. So you've got sort of interesting lines and movement. Now with Asian style arrangements, there's just a lot of energy in, if that makes sense. I don't know how to explain it, but there's like an energy to the flowers. And I actually love it because you don't need a lot of flowers, number one. And the arrangements showcase each blossom so beautifully. Now, lucky for us, there's still a lot of this really beautiful bronze foliage on Lady Emma Hamilton. So I'm going to use its own foliage. I love that color, and I think complements our dark brown container really well. So this shorter stem I'm going to put here to kind of cover the opening of our vessel. See, even just this looks really nice. Okay, do another rose here. And then our third rose, I'm going to pluck some of the leaves off. I don't want to cut it too short. I think we can have a third one here on a different level. And we've got our 3 roses in place. I may kind of adjust them a little bit depending on what I think will look nice. And I thought, well, what is very wintry and expressive of the season we're in? How about some beautiful pussy willow? I love using pussy willow in these Asian arrangements. The only problem with pussy willow is it's so straight, right? It's just kind of a straight up and down kind of a material. So I'm going to show you a little trick you can do with almost all branches. Okay, you can wire them and then you could bend them however you want to give that sinewy shape. This is one that's already been wired, and look at that. You could bend it however you like to create any shape you want, or any, kind of sinewy pattern. See? So I'm going to show you how to wire them. So depending on how heavy a stem of that material is, this is not very heavy. Even though it's a woody stem, it's not super thick. So I'm going to use 24 gauge wire here. And we're just going to wire it along the length of the pussy willow. Maybe not to the very tip, because we're probably not going to bend the very tip top of it. I'm just going to wind it down the stem, skipping the little cottony buds. You could cover this wire with floral tape, but I find that the wire in this dark green color is so subtle that you don't really need to fuss with floral tape. In fact, the floral tape, unless you get the right color, it may be more obvious. Okay, I'm just going to cut it off. See, wonderfully, now you have a stem that you can bend however you want. Oops. Okay, like that. And see, this is how we're going to use it. We're going to add a little bit of pussy willow to this arrangement. Okay, I'm going to show you where the roses are positioned right now. And I'm imagining a little bit of pussy willow coming through here, mainly because I like the white. I think it'll show up against this sort of dark arrangement. And I wanted to have a line coming out three-dimensionally and on the front of this arrangement. This is what I mean by kind of a lot of energy in Asian designs. I don't know how to explain it. It just is sort of like a movement. It's very different from Western designs, where we're just using a lot of textures and not a lot of line. At least you've seen a lot of my rose videos. We just use a lot of beautiful materials, a lot of texture, but we're not that concerned about the lines. I think I might cut this one a little shorter. Use my snips because I don't want to damage my good clippers, because there's a wire already in here, right? Okay. Bend this a little bit so it's kind of sinewy. And see, we're almost done. I have a little bit of rice flour left from previous arrangements, and I thought the white might be really pretty to kind of call attention to the pussy willow and just to have another white element in here. So I'm going to put it back here. It also kind of covers the vessel a little bit. I think I'm going to cut it a little shorter because I don't want it to interfere or have crossing or cross the magnolia. Okay, that's very pretty. And we are done. So this is a super easy to do arrangement, and that's my 3 rose challenge. What can we make with only 3 roses? And you can make a really beautiful Asian style arrangement with only 3 roses and some branches. Thank you for joining me. Please like and subscribe as always. Leave me a comment. I love hearing from you, and I will see you in my next video.